Hello, hello, welcome to Anime Anonymous. I'm CJ.
I'm Ace.
And this is Jess.
And we are joining you again this week with Assassination. Classroom of the Elite. I always do that. I don't know why. You know why? Because he's a damn assassin.
Yeah,
That's why.
he is.
Classroom of the Elite, Season 2. If you guys have not seen this, I love y'all. But don't listen to this. That doesn't make any sense. Mm-hmm. Especially if you haven't seen season 1. If you haven't listened to our first season 1 episode and haven't watched season 1, stop, go listen and watch those, then come back. All right? We will be here. We ain't going nowhere. So if you have, hey, welcome back.
Also, Happy New Year.
And Merry Christmas.
Yes. Yeah, see? Shoot, my brain. I didn't even think about... Well, I didn't even think about New Year because when this comes out, it'll be New Year. So.
Yeah, we're recording right now. We're actually recording on Ace's birthday.
Yeah.
So when this does come out, tell him a happy belated birthday.
Thanks,
in
guys.
all our
Thanks.
social medias.
Yeah. Yep. I'm trying to think. Honestly, you all know our social medias now. I'm not going to say it again because I want to jump into this. So, usually I say... Whoever wants to go first, give your little synopsis. But I'm going to have Jess go first.
Yay.
Because she had to watch both seasons. That way she could get the full kind of story. So, in a minute, what...
In a minute.
Yeah, see? Ooh, I'll put a timer on you. I'm just kidding. In a couple minutes.
Okay.
What's your quick synopsis or thoughts on the show? You can actually do the show in general. So you can do 1 and 2 if you want to.
Well, watching season 1, I got hooked immediately. Because the whole time I'm thinking it's some, regular high school anime kind of thing. And then, the main character, Inakoji.
Yeah. I just call him Koji-kun.
Koji-kun. All right, I like that.
Or Koji, whichever one.
I found out he's a very interesting guy, and I was like, okay, what's your story? Because the first season, you don't know how cold-hearted he is till the very end. And then the second season, that boy is cold.
Mm-hmm.
Like Frosty the Snowman cold. And then Kushida,
Kiko?
Yeah, the short-haired girl.
Evil
Two-Face B.
Mm-hmm.
And
she's so annoying. I hate her like airhead voice, man.
Yeah.
Oh my lord, bro.
Her good girl version.
And then the third main character,
Suzune.
She was annoying in some parts for me, but I actually did like her most of the time. Because watching her try to figure him out was very entertaining. Mm-hmm. Very entertaining. And the way they worked together was really, really awesome. But, second season was good. Super excited for whenever season 3 comes out.
I want to say it's January 6th.
Ooh.
6th or 7th? I want to say it's the 6th.
We are doing great on this time. I think.
Well, that's the whole reason.
Yeah, quarter 1 is going to be amazing.
A synopsis is this, basically it's a high school, it's like on an island, right? It's kind of
it's an elite school.
Yeah. Right. And there's 4 classes, class A, B, C, and D. And all the main characters I spoke about are in class D, which I guess is like delinquent or defective. Right?
Yeah,
That's what
they all
scores.
got in, but they all have like the lowest scores.
Right. And so you're watching class D and their growth, and actually some of the kids in there are super smart. I don't know how they're in class D.
Yeah, actually, let me change what I said. They don't have the low scores. A lot of them have lowest scores, or they have something wrong with them socially. Like they like Suzune. She is like socially inept. Like she doesn't know how to talk to people.
No, she doesn't. Right. And then, the rules that are at this school is by far just mind-blowing. It's like you can buy anything with points. Literally, you're leaving this up to the students. They can buy anything. Like, they could buy answers to tests. They could buy out of this. Buy anything from the teachers. Literally. like, I think, what was it? In season 1, they bought one of the guys out of getting expelled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like,
This
what?
is like a better version of Kakeguri. Like, if you haven't seen Kakeguri, it's like a gambling one, which
Yes.
everything can be won with gambling. This is like, in my opinion, a better version. I enjoyed that anime.
Yeah, that was a
but
good
that
anime,
anime
too.
was a little OD sometimes. So, but yeah, no, like it's So I'm gonna assume, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Say you enjoyed it.
Oh, I really did, yes. I even told Ace, I was like, why in the world was I sleeping on this?
Yeah, she came in and she just blew up with like, so
When
much
you were
joy and
working
excitement.
from home, I saw him come in. I literally locked my computer and walked my pregnant butt over. I was like, I've been sleeping on this.
I was
Yeah.
so happy. I was so happy to hear. So
All right, Ace, now you can go.
So yeah, pretty much same thing as Jess. I was a huge fan of season 1. Season 2 did not let me down at all. This was definitely probably one of my top animes for the 2022 year. The only thing I want to add is the character Kay. When she gets into some situations, it is intense.
Mm-hmm.
It was so well done, and the I guess the strategic game planning of how Koji was able to manipulate the people that was affecting her, which is Kai, and get the solution, and do that all by hiding the evidence from the professors. I was like, this is amazing. Yeah, Koji is just literally he's obviously my favorite character. He gives you this Killua assassin eyes from season 1. You see it a little bit more often in season 2, and I just love that mode, that killer instinct, but at the same time he's like very analytical and he's very calm, and you don't know how good he is unless us, the viewers. But the way he moves and manipulates and just wins, I just have nothing but applause for him. So before I go any further, CJ, what else do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's kind of just mirroring what everybody else said. I think off rip, I liked season 1 better just because of like first episodes, right? The first episodes, which makes sense, right? They're trying to hook you.
Right.
You're already in, so season 2 kind of starts a little bit slower, but the ending of it is insane, right? And if for some reason this is the first episode you've ever heard of us, we spoil things. So, all right, so
Try not to do it in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah. The first 5-10 minutes is just quick synopsis, no spoilers, right? After that, hey, that's on you. Okay, don't be mad. So we're gonna jump into it, right? So, but I agree. Anakoji-kun, he is my favorite character. They branch out his story. They flesh out, not branch out. They flesh out his story so little in season 2, but because of how little you got in season 1, you're like, ooh, I've learned more.
Right.
And like you meet his dad, right?
Mm-hmm.
The professor of the White Room, which we know kind of what the White Room is, right?
Right.
This like really elite, ridiculous school where they're doing all this experimentation to try and make the top human, right?
Yeah.
And he has, as of now, and I don't read this, so I think this was a light novel. I don't read this, and I'm not planning on reading it until the anime is done, and then I'll jump into it. The dad, as of yet, has not made a person as good as Koji yet. And he even says that, right? And you can tell the dad is kind of like just like
He's an asshole.
yeah, he is, but he's emotionless as well. You're like, well, shoot, no wonder Koji's emotionless. But yeah, like and then right after he meets with the dad, what I liked, and I'm hoping they talk about it in 3, is the principal is used to work at the White Room.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, ooh, I wonder if they're gonna flesh, because like he seems like such a nice guy.
Yes.
But you're like, nah, he's got some stuff to him too. So because he knows everything that happens in the school and he lets it happen. So
Right.
it's like he may look and portray like he's a really nice dude, but
He's probably the worst one.
yeah, I want to know more about him. Like he is interesting to me.
So before you go any further, what do you think about the professor for Class D?
What, the chick?
I feel like she knows a lot more than she lets off as well.
No, I think the complete opposite. I think she doesn't know as much as she actually portrays, and Koji calls her out on it. He's like,
that's what. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
because he's like, you made it sound like you had this tie with my dad or whatever.
Oh,
You
yeah.
don't. He was like, so
Don't ever do that again.
he's like, don't. Like he without telling her said, mess with me again and I will tear you up. Like,
Yeah.
like he that
Right.
that was one time where you actually saw him pissed again, because you see it once in season 1 when he tells her, don't mess with my life.
Right.
And that was him again, like, okay, I made the assumption that you might have some wield over me. You don't. So that's it. We're done.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I was actually going to talk about that scene. Like, that was another, like, in that little area.
Because that's where he goes in and tells her, like, you're trying to get to Class A, like, you're trying to be, like, the teacher for Class A.
Right.
So it's like, you had my file, you had my information, but, like, you don't.
Yeah, you don't know me.
You
like,
don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bluffing, and, like, you don't bluff him.
Yeah, not him.
Oh, no.
Like, he was feeling it out, and that confirmed
She
she
knows
didn't have
nothing.
anything. So he was like, yeah, we're done.
But they did portray, like, they kind of were pulling me along when they were in that auditorium, and she sat down and she was like threatening him, saying like, if you don't continue,
Oh, on the cruise ship?
yeah,
Oh, yeah, season,
like-
what?
That's the
no,
beginning.
no, not season 1. Well, no,
Oh.
season 2 does start with the cruise ship. Yeah,
Right?
is it blurring for you since you marathoned it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah,
like,
no.
hold on.
Yeah,
When
they're
was the
technically
cruise?
still. Yeah, they're technically still on it.
But during that scene, I was convinced that she knew his dad, and she had some type of leverage over him.
Yeah,
But-
that scene that you're talking about is from 1.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, season 2, like the only real interaction that they have about that is right when she like brings him to meet the dad. Right?
Yeah, in the principal's office.
Yeah. But yeah, no, as far as the starting of it, like I said, it kind of starts off a little slow. They're still on like the cruise ship, and they're doing their different challenges, which the one
That first
was like,
challenge was, the instructions were confusing to me.
Yes.
After watching it, especially the second time watching it, I was like, oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, when they were all the planets.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was about to
yep,
say.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's
the
the
planets
first
was at first weird, but then once they explain how you get it, it was like really simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like obviously Koji knew this. Like he's a super genius, but he's just like it's fine, it's whatever. Like I'm good. Like because you see the change in him this season too, because he's like, all right, I try to stay in the background. Clearly, I can't be in the background anymore.
Right.
So he's like, okay, so we're going to do different things, which enter K, right? Like, he's like, I'm going to need another minion,
Yeah.
but like a really bona fide minion. Because, like, Suzune is a minion, even though she doesn't know she is. And,
Yeah, we know she
like,
is.
She was a minion day 1.
yeah, she was. And even then, like, she tries to have like a stand up to him one time, like, oh no, you need to tell me yada yada yada, because she knows he's trying to use her, and he's like, you don't need to know. Just do this, right? And Kay, you know, at first I didn't like her in season 1,
Oh, same. She was so annoying.
but like seeing her story, like I kind of get why she is how she is, but still, like that doesn't excuse the whole leeching, which he straight up calls her like a leech.
Oh yeah.
But I will say, she is a real one. Like Kay goes through it.
Yeah, she is loyal.
Yeah, she goes through it, and we'll get to that later. But like she goes through it, and I was like, "Yo, I swore this chick was gonna break," and she was like, "Nope." I was like, "Okay, respect."
Yeah.
But I am done for right now. So who wants to go about like different things that they liked?
Well, I definitely want to get out the way that I did not like I think he's the leader of Class C.
Oh, you're talking about Ruin.
Yeah, Ruin. Hated him. He's so...
Yeah, he's supposed to be unlikable. He was like the antagonist in 1 too.
Yeah, and I'm just like...
I'm like,
bruh,
I do not like you. You are just too full of yourself.
You're not that good.
He was just so cocky. He was just so freaking annoying.
Yeah,
He was all hotshot, and like, I felt bad for Class C. I'm like, this is the person that you all decided to be like your leader. And I'm like,
oh, it wasn't decided. He
took
decided
it,
that
yeah.
I know,
himself.
but I'm like, come on, y'all couldn't like get together and overthrow this guy? Like, what the heck? I know he's got this big old bodybuilder that wears sunglasses and doesn't talk.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the guy's name? I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't...
Yamada, I think.
Oh, yeah, Albert Yamada, yeah.
Yeah, like he don't even talk. He's like this big old bodyguard of his. And then, and then what's her name? The blue hair chick.
Yeah, Mio.
Is like...
Ibuki.
I don't know, like what... She's like the girlfriend that's like loves an abusive relationship. Like, is always by his side. I'd be like, I'm kicking your ass to the curb. Like, if the way he treats her...
She likes it.
I'm like, you must be into that kinky crap, because I know.
Now,
Yeah, but she has her limits too. Like,
Yeah.
there's a couple times she's like, "Nah, I'm out. Like, I'm not doing this."
Yeah.
But she doesn't stop it.
No.
She just is like, "I'm not gonna do this, and I'm not gonna witness it, so I'm out." So I was like, "That's kind of bitch made." But
Yeah.
But I did like their fight. That I think that was in season 1 though.
which
fight?
one?
When Suzune and Mio actually had like...
Oh, Suzune? Yeah, that was season 1.
Yeah, I loved their fight in season 1, and then
That's when she was sick too.
Yeah.
Suzune.
and then when they're able to bring that confrontation back, it's kind of like, all right, you guys are
Yeah.
pulling from season 1 and bringing everything all together. So that kind of brought me back, because in the beginning it really was slow, and if you did not see season 1, you are definitely missing a lot of information.
Oh yeah, especially on Kushida. Yeah, like right off in the beginning of season 1, you see there's two sides to her, but then they don't show it for the rest of season 1. Really, she's just this airhead, bubbly, likable character the whole rest of the anime, and then in season 2 they really show her two-faced side. And I liked how they dove into that. And I really was happy on how that ended.
Yeah,
I was like, yes!
Yeah, I was like,
Yes!
the whole time, because when I first watched this, I was watching it week by week, right?
Yeah.
The whole time, I'm like, you really think you are going to outsmart Koji?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you swear you have him in a trap.
Right.
Like, and then, like, when she goes to the teacher and she's like, oh, yeah, these are the answers, yada, yada, yada. And then they, like, show that Suzune went first and, like, hey, someone's going to come here and say that they got it, yada, yada, yada. I'm just like, bro, like, you were in the game the whole time. And the funny thing was, Suzune was in the game the whole time. But Suzune was like, oh, she thought, like, I don't know. It's just funny. It's I've said this
chess
before.
moves.
Yeah, I've said this before. I love cerebral characters, right? It just so happens Koji can throw hands too, but like I love cerebral. Like one of my favorite characters in anime is Lelouch, right? Because just he's not really good at throwing hands. You do a physical fight, that man's done. But the way he thinks, he's like 3 steps ahead of you, right? which is funny. Like a lot of you'll see these memes. It's like who would win a chess game, and it's like Lelouch, it's Koji, it's like L from Death Note, and then there's somebody else. I can't remember who, but like it's always like those three show up, right? But like it's just cool to see that a lot of the time Koji, if he wanted to, he could be like Ryuen, right? Like he could with power overthrow everything. Mm-hmm. But no, he's like, I want to be in the back. I want to just have a chill time. But if you're going to mess with my time, then I'll use a little bit of my knowledge to kind of like mess things around, right? Yeah. And the way he finessed her was just really, really funny. Her, obviously, being Kushida. And, like, her reaction to it was great because she was pissed. Like, she was out for blood. And then, like, when she, like, spoke to, well, the first time when he and Suzune and her kind of talk, and then she's like, I've added another person to my list that I want to get rid of. I'm just like, you are so dumb. You are really dumb.
Like, you're going at the protagonist.
Yeah. And then when Ryuen is like, he had you the whole time. Like when she's talking to him, she's like, well, you're going to help me. He's like, I have no reason to help you. Right, I was like, damn, Ryuen. You didn't have to finesse her like that, bro. Like, he was like, right. He knew what you were doing the whole time. Like I gave him the score.
Right. Like, she was distraught.
It was messed up, man. Like it's like so when you use your enemy against who they think is their friend. Like, bro, I cracked up at that scene. Like it was great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Yep.
Yeah. Question.
Yes.
What was your favorite or most memorable event, in lack of a better word?
Like the special test that they did?
Yeah. Do you have one?
Like which one was like my favorite?
Either your favorite or most memorable or...
Well, they only did, what, like 3, right?
Yeah, there was the Planet
There's the
one.
planets, there's the leader.
Then there
the
was...
VIP, I mean.
The sports festival.
Yeah,
oh, so there's 4. Yeah,
and
so the sports festival.
They had the paper shuffle.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah. I forgot that the actual sports festival was an event. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they had 4.
Did y'all... anything in the sports festival that stood out?
I really liked how it was the last event. And it was Koji and the president.
Yeah.
The president gets it, and the girl comes up and hands him the baton. Like, you gonna go? And Koji's just looking at him, and they're looking at each other, having a conversation while other people are going. He's like, run with all your strength. And they're just booking it, man. They're just booking it. I'm like, yo.
I like his combo with himself. He's like, I hate exerting myself. But he's like, just one time, maybe I'll actually try a little bit. And like, but I still think he didn't try fully because like he still technically lost. But they're like, oh, you're like, and then he gets all the girls. Like,
oh yeah,
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, like what was it?
Blitzing.
Sato's like, oh my gosh, she's so
chick.
hot. Like,
yeah,
it's like cracked me up.
I didn't know that you were so good at sports.
Yeah. Like, freaking hilarious. And then I felt so bad for Kay because, like, you can tell that Kay is starting to really like him.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, get me info on Sato. She's like, what the? And then he just hangs up on her. I was like, God damn, bro.
He was hurt.
Well, also,
but that was his plan, right?
Yeah. I mean, he even, like, when he called her, I forget when, it was later on in season 2. It's like, delete my contact info. Like, we can't talk anymore.
Yeah, he's like...
And she got all distraught. She's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was like, you don't want to be my minion, right? Like, so we're done. Like, we're good. And then he hung up on her. But yeah, like, at the end, he's like, that was his whole plan to, like, put her into despair. But then she surprised him. Because he was like, why would she go through all this and still not, like, give up my name? Like, so my thing with their relationship that I want to see is like there obviously he thinks of basically everybody as a tool, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yes,
just
he
how
does.
that's how his mind works. But you can tell that he kind of does care more about some people, and I think Kay is one of those.
He kind of says it at the end.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
does say it at the
Yeah.
end.
So like I want to see how that relationship grows. Not even if it doesn't even go romantic. Like if it does, cool. Like I don't care. But like
Right.
if it doesn't, I just want to see if he kind of gets that normal life that he wants, which would mean he would have to learn more about emotions. Because, as we said we were going to talk about later, the Kay gets tortured. Like waterboarded in cold weather by Ryuen and his team, right? And Ibuki, what is her name?
Ibuki.
Yeah, Ibuki.
Ibuki.
Neo Ibuki.
You know the way I remember her name is the Street Fighter character. There's a ninja character on Street Fighter that like is no longer in the games. So like every time I think of Ibuki, I'm like, I remember her from Street Fighter. That's the only reason I remember her name.
She got hands too. She could.
Yeah,
be a Street
Ibuki
Fighter.
was a beast.
Yeah.
Anyway, off subject. So like Ibuki's like, nah, I'm not here for this. So she leaves, right? And they are waterboarding this girl, torturing her. And
Real torture.
yeah, and she is not giving up who her person is, like who is running the shots. She's like, I don't know, like all this stuff. And I'm like, yo, this girl is going through it.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, who shows up? Freaking Koji. Koji just wipes the floor with the big black dude. He's just like, all right, you're out.
With such a straight face the whole time.
Yes,
Yeah.
which is what makes it so good because which is what I'm building up to. Like, he just doesn't care. Like,
No.
he couldn't care less, so he has no emotion. And so, like, when he and Yuen are, like, fighting, he's like, I literally built everything up to this so that I could handle this physically. And he's like, oh, yeah, because you want to take over, blah, blah, blah. He's like, no, just basically to show you that I'm better at it, but like I knew you'd want to do this physically, so I set it up so it could be physical. And then my man's like, oh, I've never felt fear, blah, blah, blah. And he, in his own way, was, I guess, expecting him to be like him.
Right.
Like, because with the whole snake thing, right? He was excited. Like, so he's waiting to see the excitement. And it's just like nothing. Just Koji just beating him. Just punching him.
The driest face ever.
Like, he's just like, are you feeling fear yet? Like, are you, like, and he just doesn't care. Like, it's not even, he's not even trying to actually be intimidating.
Right.
He's just intimidating because he doesn't feel anything. So he's just like, I've never felt fear. Like, I've never felt excitement. Like, nothing. Like, so it's just like, man.
And them punches sounded crazy hard.
Yeah, and they actually sounded, for lack of a better term, realistic.
Yeah, that's
because there'll
what I
be
was gonna say.
sometimes in anime where like you're just hitting things, it's like pow, it's like boom, and you're like, no, it should sound kind of lackluster because
Right.
like when you're actually punching somebody, it does not sound amazing. Like, it's just like that's it. That's it. Like,
And I think that's a plus for the animators and the audio people. They made you feel as intended. Everything literally, for me at least, entranced me into the series. I felt like I was one of the students and I was just observing. But yeah, I really enjoyed the realism of every single situation.
yeah, my one of my only gripes with this freaking season was like every episode was a cliffhanger.
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
every single episode, I'm like, yo, could you not just end it not on a cliffhanger? I was like, bro, okay. Like,
I enjoyed the cliffhangers.
First of binging it, I was like, yes, next episode.
yeah. See now, funnily enough, this is not one that I could binge. Like, I actually, there was a couple times where, like, I was maybe 3 or 4 episodes behind on this, and I did, like, 2, and I was like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, it's
But,
a
like,
lot.
It's
to
not
take
an
in.
easily bingeable one, and I think it's because there's so much cerebral stuff going on. So, like people say it, and we all know it, right? So we're all accountants. right? There is something that a lot of people don't get. Mental, like,
I know where
mental
going. I already know where he's going.
Mental fatigue just is horrible. As a person who's done martial arts, sports, football, track, like, it hits differently.
Yes.
Because your body is like, why the hell am I tired, bruh? I haven't done anything. And your brain has been doing cartwheels all day. So you're literally exhausted.
Oh, yeah.
That's almost what this anime does. Is because, like, I'm thinking the whole time. Even if there's not a lot going on, you're like, I have to think because I know this anime. And then you'll be like, damn it, I just wasted all this energy trying to figure out a plot and nothing happened. They're just like sitting at a cafe drinking coffee. I was like, so you're just
and
like,
then the next
exhausted.
episode.
Yeah, and then the next episode is like all this shit happens. It's like, God damn it, bro. Like, I wasn't ready for this.
No,
So,
that's
like,
literally the perfect.
So, like, but like, you go to Call of the Night. I literally binged all episodes in one night because I was like, oh shoot, it's over. Because I love that anime and like, it's really chill. I don't really have to think. Yes, there's a plot, and it's a good plot, but it's not super convoluted. This one, I'm like, bro, what's going on?
Yeah.
How is he gonna finesse them?
Right. Right.
Like,
who is going to get manipulated?
like how all y'all were like, all right, 2 episodes a night. So let's see. If we tell Jess 2 weeks in advance that we're going to do this episode, she'll make it. I did make it. It literally took me to today.
Yeah.
Because I could only do 2 episodes at a time.
I think last night I was like, what episode are you at? She was like, 6.5. I was like, golly.
What? It's funny. I think I told Ace this. So, like, I've been having a hard time sleeping at night. I would wake up at, like, 1 or I would wake up at 4. It's just because this kid wants to kick at 1 and 4. So I would start watching because I can't go back to sleep. I watch 2, go back to sleep because I'm just mentally tired.
Hey, my whole thought process when I was watching this thing, you ain't gonna finesse me.
Right.
I'm gonna figure this out. Okay?
Oh, the whole time I'm like, oh snap! I would fall for this all the time. I could not follow along. Like when they would explain how he figured it out, I'm like, damn.
No, I have to agree. Yeah, I have to agree. I could not keep up with Koji. No. I was trying because I felt like I had a pretty good chance after watching Death Note. So Death Note gave me that cerebral chess moves, outthink someone, and I kind of was like, oh, I feel smart. I knew this was going to happen based on, all the context. But for this one, Koji is different.
No, like the whole leader thing, the VIP, the whole phone switching thing.
Mm-hmm.
So when they explained it, like how they switch phones and he's the VIP, I'm like, oh, he's the VIP. That's actually smart. And then when Class B chick calls, I'm like, why'd you call the phone? And then all of a sudden they're like, no, so-and-so is the VIP. I'm like, what?
Yeah, and then they meet later on and like all this. Yeah.
I'm like,
I was brilliant.
They freaking, he bought points so that way he learned how to remove the SIM card. Like,
yep.
What?
Yeah.
Genius.
Everything can be bought with points.
And he's just sitting there, and I'm just like, this poor guy is like freaking out. That's the funny part, is everyone he's used, they put on a very good act where you think they're the ones that they're the actual VIP. They're the person they're looking for, and it's not.
Yeah.
They
were confused.
Well, because they don't like. He only gives them portions of it. Like he gave Class B girl her role, but then old boy, if I'm remembering correctly, didn't know about that. So his reaction was real. Like he was like, "I'm sorry, I thought we had it." Yada yada yada, and they're like, "Yeah, you are." And then Class B was like, "Yeah, I'm a good actress." Blah blah blah. It's like,
nah, you got finesse, sir.
Yeah, like it's a very fun one. But like, if you actually binge this, like, you're gonna have that mental fatigue because there is so much. Just inadvertently, you're gonna try and follow everything, and it's just like, okay, I'm tired.
Even rewatching was actually harder for me because I knew. I think my body knew how taxing.
Oh, this again. Oh, God.
Damn. So
Where the pillow at?
it was pretty difficult to rewatch it, even though it's so good. This is not one that you can rewatch very easily.
Yeah. That's no, I can agree with that because so maybe we'll do it for an episode. But Lelouch's Rebellion, like Code Geass. I really, really like that.
We do
anime.
need to do that actually.
Like I really, really like it, but I tried rewatching it with Jess, and I was just like, oh man, like I like the anime, but I was just like, I could be watching something else right now, like. Which cracks me up because I'm like, I'm the one who wanted to watch it again. But it's like, I don't know. It was funny. But yeah, no, like they did, what I did like about the ending of this is like they basically did season 1 ending again, like where he has his own like inner monologue when he's like, I've never considered you any friends, yada, yada, yada. Like when he's talking, like Suzune's talking to herself and you just see it kind of like playing back. And he's got like the killer eyes. They kind of did it with this one because he's like, he goes through his plan of like, yeah, it was perfect. If I end our relationship, then she goes into a deeper like feeling of of needing me or something, yada yada yada.
Abandonment.
He's like, perfect plan has been perfectly done. Like it's, I'm like, okay,
You ain't that
right,
good,
bro.
sir.
Like, man, doing a little Sherlock Holmes kind of BS.
But when I first saw it, I was like, maybe he is that perfect. But now
well,
that
I mean,
can
he's
reflect.
supposed to be like as much as we know now, he is the closest to like peak human. So we'll see. I feel like we might meet maybe some other people from the White Room.
It seemed
that
like
would
he
be cool.
killed off all of them.
No.
That's what it felt like.
That's what it felt like to me. And also, like, some of the season 1, like, flashbacks, I'm wondering if, like, the emotionalist part is something that they put into him. And, like, using, like, even in the White Room, you had to use those people as a tool to even survive. If you think about it.
Yeah, no, you did. But, like, a lot of the flashbacks still show, like, people, like, passing out and all this stuff and
Right.
etc. So, like,
I would love to get a deeper dive into that, but I also do want to see the growth of Kai, like, in her, because I feel like she's going to be, like, the female mastermind for him.
Who, Kay?
Okay, yeah.
Kay is not smart enough to be
Yeah, I
a
don't think so.
mastermind.
Yeah.
Oh, she's
I'll
too
tell-
blonde?
Yeah.
I'll tell you that
Yeah.
right.
I don't think so.
I'll
no.
tell you that right now. What she will do, she'll be a great henchman.
Yeah, great minion
She'll
for
be
sure.
a good sidekick.
Now,
Okay.
for Suzune, I was hoping she would develop the skills to be.
Well, that's what he was trying to do.
Yeah. But
He was like, hey, there, you have a dog right there. Go make a loyal dog. And it was taking her forever. And then finally she had to, like, swallow her pride and go talk to Sato, I think his name is.
Right, yep.
Like, it's like
Or Pseudo.
Pseudo.
Yeah.
There we go. I was like, I know it.
I knew who you were talking about.
Started with
yeah.
an S and ended with the toe. But yeah, like, I don't know.
Yeah. One last character. The big booby chick with the pink hair, pigtails.
Yeah, her.
Oh, yeah. Isn't she like the president? Oh, class
no.
representative.
No,
class
she's-
representative.
She was, the girl that had the online
The
whatever.
photos
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
I hope they give her some sort of confidence because her low confidence sometimes annoys me.
I want to.
Like, she can't even say his name without, like, stuttering. I'm just like, girl, come on, spit it out. Just spit it out.
I want to say, because I do remember for season 1, when I had first watched it, I had researched it. She is one that he actually does care about too. Because, like, if you, like, she's the one person, because the book that, or the website that I was looking at was also talking about the books. As of that time, so I don't know, they could have had a new book by then. She's like the one person he hasn't actually used as a tool.
No.
Right.
Like, he's used Kay, he's used Suzune, he's used basically everybody, but she's the one, like, he hasn't. So there was this online forum, like, well, does he really like Kay? Or does he like her? So,
Right.
it was interesting. But, But yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to 3.
Yes.
But yeah, I want to say it's January 6th. But we can jump into ratings. So since Jess is looking it up, Ace, you first.
So I'm going to give it a 10 for me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm super excited for season 3, and the music, the audio, the visuals. I have no problem, no qualms with anything. I love Koji. This was a top anime for me. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 10.
All right. What about you, Jess?
Oh, it's 10 all day. I don't think I need to explain it. I really don't. Just the animation style, but I will say I did like the intro more in season 2 than in season 1.
Okay.
I do like the intro more.
Okay.
It was more just upbeat, in my opinion. So I actually could, like, if I forgot to hit skip, that was one I could play in the background. The ending, though, no. I didn't need the butterfly.
Oh, yeah, I do remember skipping the hell out of that. Yeah.
That was one where I'm like, yep, done. Done.
Yeah.
I always skip the intros and the endings.
No, there's
I'm
some
trying
that
to
I
get to
don't.
the next episode.
But, okay. Well, then I will go. I'm going to give this a 9. There were a couple parts of episodes, so not episodes fully, that I think just went too long, or you didn't really need, right? Also, the bullying was just kind of dumb in some portions for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so the girl that they said Kay was messing with, who didn't really, all of a sudden she just turns into like a cold-hearted like bullier and starts smacking the hell out of Kay.
Yeah,
I was just
weird.
like, I personally, like, I get what they were trying to do with the anime. Personally, that just rubbed me the wrong way. One, I just don't like bullying. But two, I say that, but I bully people all the time. Because I like to mess with people. Because I think there's a healthy version of bullying, right? I feel like people nowadays are way too soft. Yeah. So
teasing and bullying is different.
No, I'm talking about bullying. I think there's still room for healthy bullying, right? But not this. That is definitely not healthy. I come from it like people are snowflakes nowadays. At me if you want to, okay? CJ, so go ahead, like, at me. Like, people are snowflakes nowadays. Everybody gets offended by everything. I think that's ridiculous. When we were growing up, you get offended by something,
you better clap back.
Bruh, you better throw hands. Put the set up, right? Like, so.
Or just have comebacks. Just have, like, it used to be, like, really hilarious, fun banter and joking on the school bus, going back and forth. That I enjoyed that. That was like a sport. So I don't know, but what I do know is next episode we are going to be doing one that none of us have seen. It's called Princess Principal. It came out in 2017. Short synopsis: 20th century. That's advancing military technology. It almost kind of seems like steampunkish to me, which I really like steampunk stuff. Okay. There's like an espionage war, and there's a group of girls from the prestigious Queen Mayfair School that work as undercover spies for the Commonwealth. So, I've seen clips of it, and I've always thought it was interesting, but now we get to watch it, and also it's 12 episodes, so it's a good one. But did you find it?
I did find some info. They don't have an exact date, but they said July 2023. Also,
really?
They said that season 3 will finish their first year of their school. But yeah, apparently they're looking at possibly 6 seasons for this anime.
Okay,
that sounds good to me.
I swear it's January 6th. I'll have to look it up. But yeah. So until then, I am CJ.
I'm Ace,
and I am Jess.
And we will catch you next AA meeting.